Hi everyone, before we start this video, you must know that everything that I'm saying is entertainment and only entertainment. You shouldn't believe anything that I say about this woman that is making this video because everything I'm saying is just out of my head and I do it for entertainment purposes. So it's not true. Whatever this woman is saying is not what I say in this video, nor anything that I mention is something true. If you want any advice, you must go to a licensed professional. Also agree the terms down in the description of this video if you want to watch this video or just don't watch it. So let's start. The reason I make also this video is because if not exactly the same, I have faced most of those things, and it's kind of scary because you cannot fit easy to the way other people think, and also you see things differently. You will see. Let's start the video, okay?
This is probably like one of the most personal video that I have ever made, and like for the past time there has been one question on my mind a lot, and that is if I'm autistic or not. And I'm not here to diagnose myself. Like honestly, I don't have an answer, but I just want to talk honestly about my experience, because maybe some people can understand others better and be less like judgmental of different people's differences. So I feel like this is a necessary video to do. So when I first started wondering, it was actually a while ago, because I started to realize that I was different than everybody else. I started to question why I never felt like I ever...
First of all, this woman has the courage to do that, and it's a very good thing. And also she realized pretty fast those things, that she is different. I couldn't. She realized it probably a decade before than me, and that's really good because no matter the issue someone has, if someone, the issues, the mental design someone has, the human design, the kind of human animal someone is, so to speak, you need awareness to be able to see through those things. Perhaps because she's a woman, or perhaps because, for whatever reason, she did it really fast. So let's continue so you understand, people, what this woman has. You may have it more, you may less, you may not at all. I have those things, unfortunately, but they can't. Some of those can be dealt, okay, one by one. So it's really hard to live like this in how our world is designed, but it's possible.
ever fit in. And at first I thought it was something wrong with me, that I was just a socially awkward kid who was like socially stupid, because ever since I was very young, I felt like I didn't know how to behave. I felt like I always said the wrong things, and I always talked like what felt right for me, but I always got like these weird reactions from people, and people got mad at me for saying things that I didn't understand why. And like I had a hard time making friends as a kid.
Let's stop to the first. So once someone is different, other people who act somehow will see this behavior. and they will say it's wrong. Because if every person has a certain behavior in a certain environment and someone has a different, then they start questioning their behavior. Why this person acts like that? It's weird. So it's wrong. So if all people were like her and two people, let's say from 10 people, one people person in a small community, friends or whatever, was like her, and if the more people were like her and the one was like the normal now, then the normal will be judged because the normal of the current society will be considered as kind of strange. But now, because the normal is normal and she is behaving differently, then she got all this pressure. And this pressure causes trauma because if you are different and everyone says you are wrong and they judge and they do all this produces tremendous but tremendous pain, especially in younger age. Um, and the person will just get sad or get constantly angry or get isolated. It's something that or fit in but hate everyone deep inside. So this is an issue. It's a big issue. It's not her fault, however. It's her environment. And I want to make here a small example so people understand. We have a rabbit and we have a bird, different animals. You can't you can't make the rabbit be a bird and the bird be a rabbit. It's impossible, man. It's impossible. And that's what people try to do. But it can't be done because at the end, the bird is a bird. No matter how much you can mold it, deep inside it knows it doesn't fit in this environment. So let's continue.
I struggle with maintaining friendships, and even when I had a group of friends, I always felt like the outsider. And I always felt misunderstood by everyone and everything. I was so unsure in social situations, and it felt like everyone else got a manual that I didn't get, you know? And I don't know if this is masking, but I often feel like I have to perform a version of myself rather than just existing and be the one that I am. And like I have
This is really big, okay? Pay attention, whoever is interested in those things.
always been so exhausted after socializing, and after school I would be so completely tired that literally my head would hurt so much, and it would take me hours to just like relax and even do homework. Like it was a struggle. Like it was a struggle. And I was done with feeling like this. And I think I came across a video explaining autism. And I think I watched it and I felt seen for once in my life. I actually felt seen. Because I have always been, misunderstood, and people have misinterpreted who I am and my struggles into like shame. So I've been shamed for, having a short temper. Because that's also another thing that I have struggled with. Like I have such a hard time regulating my emotions, and
So, for those who see this, first of all, a person, if he or she is autistic, he or she wants the truth of the situation, not just exist in the situation. So the problem with the autistic people is they ask always, why am I here? Why this person acts like this? How shall I act now and why? And this overthinking overloads the decision-making process of an autistic person. Also, the information that people act around are too many. And because there are too many, people generally spit things, they don't know what they're saying, they just act in the environment, and the autistic person is getting totally confused because no one can process all these things. Well, there is a way to process it, but it needs tremendous training, and to sustain it, it's really, in my level at least, hard. Monks can do it, for example, so you can see the whole situation, but I mean, it's not her fault, and it's not just different. It's that people, and I said straight up, putting a me inside many times, avoid to see the truth. And the truth is, why do they act as they act? You don't go to buy food just because it happened. You get hungry, you made a decision, someone put you an advertisement, whatever. So the autistic person starts analyzing those things, and it's really hard to live like this. Okay, it's really hard. Okay, it's really hard. I cannot tell, I cannot explain how hard it is. I had problems, for example, with my why I make this phone call, why I do, it's, and the anxiety an autistic person can feel is abnormal, maybe 100 times more than the average person. So yeah, she got isolated, as we will see, as you can see in other videos, but she has big awareness at least.
Sometimes it has come out during
Which helps.
not maybe the right times. So my parent really made me feel like it was something wrong with me, or that I was just a brat, or I was too sensitive. But this is not me saying that it necessarily is autism. But these are the things that I relate to.
Sensitive. This is instinct. It's not sensitivity. Someone acts ways, and I tell it straight up. Sometimes we may be wrong, but after years of isolation and meditation and whatever, and being very social in my until middle 20s plus, what I can say is that this is not the reactions autistic people get based on my observations. At the end, those that are consciously seen, okay, not just reacting, are right. When someone tells you, hi, how you are doing, and you say him, I have this, and say, oh, I'm sorry, and the other person pretends because he or she doesn't do anything to help, or just say some things, you could do this, but they don't really want to help. They don't really want, by their actions, they prefer to do for themselves stuff or for other people stuff than to help. Why do they ask? Or why do they tell you, okay, come here to tell you something. What are you going to tell me? And they tell a crap about their problems. The autistic person will react. And that's absolutely right. Very 100%, 1000% right. Because we don't owe our energy and attention to people who want just to extract from our lives what has happened to me and I lost so many years. Okay, so those reactions, and maybe she sees this video. Okay, those reactions, not all of them, many we have issues, but many are just because the autistic person instinctively sees the training the other person wants to do and wants to block it, to attack, sees through the pretendance and must pretend, or must eject from the situation, must point it out. And it's really hard to live with most people like this because everyone pretends more or less. But it's not the pretenders, in that the identities that they put are incongruent with their actual preferences. And this is another topic I want to. You see that my thoughts have gaps. Okay, I kind of started. This is because I try to organize my thoughts because I have also this issue, but it doesn't mean that an autistic person has everything is wrong. There are many things that are much more right. There are many things that are much more right. Okay, you can people just talk to talk. There is no depth. Most of the times, they don't say anything that has a meaning. They just talk. Here is a bird. Here is my wall is blue. Today I ate this. My boss told me this. The one, it's a haze, and this haze, this thing that they do. The autistic person gets confused. Are they? What is going on with those people? Why are they like this? And this is higher awareness. It's not lower awareness. Okay, let's continue. And they don't even have fun most of the time. If they have fun, okay, they just complain. So let's continue.
So, I have looked it up, and for autism, it's avoiding or limited eye contact, which I definitely feel like, as you can see on the video, like I struggle with maintaining eye contact, and I thought it was because I was shy or that I was insecure, but no, it's like, I don't know, it's hard for me to think when I have to look someone in the eye, because I take in every input, which stops me from thinking, basically. And another thing was also challenges with...
This can be blocked. This can be blocked. So this is an issue that autistic people can block. Just we get in the other person's head. The bird must see what the rabbit is saying. The rabbit is not wrong many times, but many other times it is. It does many, how can I say, people are trained to drain. To drain as much as they can. For the lowest pressure for the other member. This for another video. So this is how, I don't know, the society trained them purposely by the whole system. I don't know. It is as it is. I'm not sure about it. But I have identified that people want everything from the other person by giving nothing back and without asking what the other person wants. But this is another problem. This is a problem that also the autistic has. The bird to contact the rabbit. They must find a fine line if they are going to connect somehow.
Non-verbal communication, strong need for daily routine, and the people that know me, like my family, they would know that I need a routine. Otherwise, I can't deal with life. And I have intense focus or interests. So when I was little, like when I would come home from school, the way that I would regulate myself was through my specific interests. And at the time it was space. So I went deep into knowing everything about space, and that was the only thing that I talked about. It was the only thing that I watched on YouTube. And I guess now it's like understanding people, which isn't so weird actually, because that is something that I have struggled with my whole life. So now I really want to understand everything and how society works, and all of these non-verbal cues. So yeah.
So here says that she cannot read non-verbal cues. I had the same exact issue, and if I leave my mind, it still can. If I leave my mind just normal and don't put conscious attention, it will come back. So a thing says, for example, what's non-verbal cue. Someone has an emotion. Someone has a facial expression, and the autistic person doesn't understand exactly what's going on. So it's much harder for an autistic. Of course, if someone cries, you say this person is sad, but the autistic person starts analyzing why he's sad, what's going on. It's all this mental thing that the autistic person must break down. So it's much harder to understand what's the emotional state of a person and why the person behaves like that if you have more or less autism. However, there is a way to do that, but in my experience, in my own case, but it's hard for autistic people. This is because you must actually be the other person. Be the bird and be in the rabbit to see what's going on. You are different. So when we are different species, we must get onto the other person's head. And the autistic people, because they are trapped in their heads, it's much harder to do that. So the more autistic someone is, the harder it is to get in the other person's head. But it is possible because in my experience, which I'm not going now to say exactly what I have seen, we are all connected with a source, so it doesn't matter what kind of creature you are in this world. So if someone, no matter if he's a rabbit or a bird, if the attention is there, now what I'm saying, who watches this video will say, if the attention is there, it's not really a separation. It's just different creatures and you can see what the other creature is doing and thinking and everything. Okay, it's kind of funny, but once once we are trapped so much in the human design then it's a total mess. So yeah, that's another story. So for Eileen, yeah, that's possible. Okay, so if you see here, for example, see how much she's trapped in her head. See her eyes like this.
You know, all of these
Now she's
non-verbal cues.
She's analyzing.
So yeah, it changes all the time, but some really, I stick to some of them and go really deep into them. And another one is overly sensitive to externals.
Before this, she says that she needs a routine and she studies things in depth. Autistic people are never fulfilled by saying, "Hi, good morning, how is this? Very good. You? Good, good. Then what did you eat today? This, that. How's your family? Good. The price outside, oh, they are higher, very expensive things. Your boss, yes, he didn't pay me, he paid me. My co-worker did this or that. And this is the whole conversation people do. So the autistic people are not satisfied with the everyday same thing in depth the mass does. It gets boring, it gets meaningless, and it's true that's boring and meaningless. For example, if the autistic person can see patterns slowly, okay, and if I notice that I have noticed that the same thing, that a person says me the same thing every time he sees me, and I answer the same way, and I don't know the why I answer this, and I know that the other person doesn't know the why I act like that. And then I see all those repeated cycles that happen every day. I'm not going to call that life. Autistic, bird, rabbit, whatever, I think that you can understand it. We have one life, and is it just this? I mean, it's not this, and I have seen it's not only this, so she searches for depth. That's why she wants to dig in things. And this is something really good. Whether a rabbit or a bird, you can dig in something instead of being like this. Okay, this is not, if the human is like, we are humans, okay? We are not just a dog or something like this. And no matter what kind of human animal someone is, this is something you must consider. We have one life, okay? We cannot accept or other people to want to make us 100% animals who design that society, whatever, and not accept to ourselves. So, yeah, this is something that she points is really good for everyone.
Stimuli. Yep. I cannot go outside without being like overwhelmed. Like it's exhausting. And difficulty in managing emotions. And also hard to shift between tasks, plan out a series of steps, or organize daily life. And all of these I relate to a T, like 100%. And this does not mean that I have autism. Like, I know that this can also be from trauma or like other things, you know, and some of these we all struggle with.
It's organization. Many people struggle with organization, but I understand that this person, for example, I have now this thing on my hand, I have here my glass. If I don't put attention that my glass is here, or anything else, I cannot remember it. I won't know where it is. So the normal person mechanically, automatically can remember the basic stuff. Yes, it's not organized, and the average person, the rabbit, so to speak, can lose things, whatever. But the autistic person, if he doesn't do things consciously, everything gets completely messed up. Doesn't remember nothing, there is no structure, it becomes this. Now the autistic person has a superpower. When the autistic person reverses that process, it creates tremendous structure, much, infinitely much stronger than the average ones. For example, in the past, I can still do it, create whole systems, which the average person can create systems, patterns for results. The autistic person can do that in infinite more extent, but it's the opposite. So once the autistic person starts step by step, 0.1% every day building something, it can create a pattern. Because the autistic person sees the depths of those patterns. It doesn't say just my glass is here. It can see the reason the glass is here, why it's not there. Why did I take the glass first place? Why do I leave it here instead of here? Because it's not convenient. It has the whole... now I cannot explain it full, but it's not something bad. The autistic person just needs a lot of work. Probably at least 20 times more than the average person to structure things. But it becomes more powerful. Okay. Let's continue.
Of course, that is something that I know, and I'm constantly questioning myself, like, is this something else, or is it autism, or... So, I don't even think that we need to have an answer, but the thing for me, with realizing that my struggles, like, resemble a lot of autism, it has helped me to be less harsh on myself. And that is also why I wanted to share this with you. Like, if you can relate to feeling like this and you don't know why and you blame yourself for it, maybe you should look into this, because it does bring some kind of peace. Like, okay, there are other people who struggle with this as well. It doesn't mean that I'm lazy. It doesn't mean that I'm a failure. It's just I have different difficulties than other people, and that is okay. And I also want people to understand that people struggle with different things. So if you don't relate to this, it's still necessary for you to understand that other people might have a difficult time with certain things that you don't have a difficulty with. And it's always good to understand each other better, so we don't continue to spread this shame that already is so strong for us all. So whether I'm autistic or not, like, this has forced me to think about myself differently. It has made me realize how much energy I have spent on trying to fit in. And, you know, it's made me more compassionate towards myself, and just allowing myself to be the person that I am and embrace all of the struggles that I have.
Now she points a lot that there is judgment and there are reactions that happen from the other people once someone is different, which create this same hatred, pain, and all these things to someone who is kind of different. And without the other different person who does actually something bad, he didn't steal someone, he didn't take the glass and break someone's head. He just says what he needs to say. Or he or she pointed out something that's true in a situation and people got irritated. And that's their problem. It's not about understanding. Pretendance, even with a mask, you can't have no pretendance to pass the thing. But if it is a lie, the autistic person holds it inside or processes it that moment or after years. Next week, months, years. So, but what says to understand? I don't know. Maybe in another life. Maybe in this life. I hope in this life, but in my experience it won't happen. So, in my case, I expect to understand other people and how they act, why they act as such. But I don't after many years, after a decade of understanding some things, meditation, exercises for unconscious, many things, isolation goes on. I want to understand. I don't want to be understood. And there is a reason for that. This is mostly for this person, for Eileen, and for people who may watch this video. The reason I do it is I don't act with hopes that people will change for my benefit or the world. It hurts, I don't like it, but they can be as they can be. Only I have the responsibility to understand them so I can deal with them. To protect myself and to produce results I want and avoid things I don't want. Because others don't care. Okay, don't simply care. So understanding others helps to get rid of the hatred. You understand the other person judges, but if you understand the process that the other person judges, you drink the coffee like this. The autistic drinks the coffee like, I don't know, in other ways. And all the other judges, they do that because the right way of doing things is that in the average human person society. Let them. Let them once the consequences are acceptable. But it doesn't mean that we must mold ourselves doing things as make other people feel better. Their emotions, their problem. And that's the hardest thing and the biggest battle I had. And still making it better, going in this type of progress, okay, but it is simply understanding and then for what is logically not a problem, not caring. You have a problem, for example, with me, that I wear green t-shirt and not black, that is better. Cool, I go out of your house. I don't come here. But I understand that you think that the black t-shirt is, for example, the proper thing to wear, and I don't have hatred. Those are your rules for your environment. So I go in my environment and we don't deal at all. Or, if it's to make a trade and I need to go in this situation, I will wear the black t-shirt only to make the deal and get out of there. But I do it consciously and it's not the fault of the rabbit, so to speak. So if we act consciously, we understand as autistic people the prices we pay to get what we want and avoid what we don't want in the world as it is. minimizing, and if possible, even eliminating judgment. This needs higher awareness. Okay, I'm not in this state right now, in those zones. Let them think what they think. But the autistic person has a problem of overanalyzation, and this also causes problems with self-esteem, because the opinions of the other can affect the autistic person. First of all, because sometimes they are right, and many other times are wrong. So it's hard for the autistic person to develop inner confidence as if the average has. No one has, essentially. But the autistic person analyzes a lot, thinks other people point, and also is irritated many times, or it can process wrong beliefs about what has happened and analyze it. So to don't go very much in depth, there are ways. I probably will make some other videos for this person, because there are ways to tackle those issues the autistic person has and deal easier with reality. And there are, and they actually work, to me at least, for me. So if you happen to be more or less autistic, perhaps subscribe or save this channel link, whatever, and check if I put out some other videos, because really, okay, I understand this woman. Imagine me now trying to date in younger age as an autistic male, because woman, as you see, her awareness, her emotional awareness is really high, really fast. We men don't have that. The 80% of our middle brain is burned to birth. So I needed years to understand things she says, okay, and exercises and goes on. Imagine me, for example, trying to better my dating. It wasn't, not just it wasn't easy. I needed to break down everything when I was younger, everything. Because for me, it wasn't like I go talk to someone. I may go and say hi, and the other person responds hi, and I'm like, okay, now what? And what I tell, and why do I do it, and why? Frozen. So it's so hard for the autistic person to or it's really hard to me. I cannot explain how hard it was. Okay, how hard it was. Okay, and putting in mind that a woman by design, I don't know, because she's autistic, maybe not, but women in design, they are very manipulative. Like, it's really hard. The average person, the average man gets destroyed. Imagine what happens if you're autistic. But this can flip so much that the autistic person becomes so powerful that he sees through the other person, man or woman. And once this is done, then there is no way back. And this is the goal. I speak to Eileen mostly, that it needs 10, 20, perhaps 50 times more the work to build some things. But once you build some things, I give an example here to Eileen. I don't know if she can see it because she's the third person. I'm here, you see me, you process some thoughts. What are the thoughts, the reflection of the thoughts she has in her head, and to the people that watch this video from what I'm telling? Is it what I'm telling or what you process in your head? See how my autism works, okay? So I tell something and we have here thoughts and thoughts from people down there. Are those thoughts correct to what I'm saying, or they interpret differently what I'm saying? And here we have YouTube. What is YouTube? YouTube is just in the 3D world thing that they made. And I am a creature went there to produce this video. And now we have the algorithm that takes all this data up. How people react emotionally by what I'm doing. And what are their physical actions inside YouTube. And then we have the whole effect. Okay, so the autistic person has the power to go outside of life. And once someone focuses a lot consistently to that, the mystery starts becoming no mystery. And it can be a really amazing world for autistic people who put in the work and continue putting in the work, because there is so much more to life, but so much more to life than I take this paper from my work, spend 70% of my time, or my other works, I don't know. Then I eat my food, I don't know, I spoke with my friends, complained probably, saw the television with something someone else made, slept and woke up to repeat the cycle. There is much more to life. So there is a big upside for autistic people, and I believe, and for the average people, if they put in the work, there is more depth in this life than this is life. No, there isn't only this. It can't be only this, because what are we? We're just small creatures, with this mental thing. So life has so big depth that it can be so much more interesting and find so much more things. And Eileen has this good thing that she has a choice to see it or not. There are people who just stay in depression forever and that's it, who have similar things, similar, not issues, similar facts about their design. It's not autistic. What means autistic? What is autistic? Someone just in this society sees a behavior of a human animal and says, this is the normal. Who says this is normal? They who created the system, so the normal behavior is this, so the machine works. And then they train the human being to read some books that they made. This means autistic. This is a series of behavior and patterns that the word autistic includes them. It isn't a problem. It is a fact of behavior, of type of thinking and behavior a group of people have who are called autistic. It's not a problem, because autistic have many upsides. Many upsides. What do you think? Those social media and everything are created by the normal people. All autistic people are behind all of those stuff. All autistic. It's all data. It's all data and connected with emotional intelligence, which is controlled probably by those who have both. But that's what I mean. Don't take anything as those things as an issue. Those aren't issues. Okay, those are. If you go to war, there is a warrior, there is a manager, there is a who makes a plan. There are many people in that. So you can't be only. You can't expect to be in the position of the warrior or of the arch. Everyone has different stuff to work in society. Autistic are less people, but have their place in society. Those big buildings, those brands, all those big businesses have autistic people inside and have a super autistic with emotional intelligence to control the whole structure. So it's not a liability, okay? But there are things to better, of course, because the autistic person has many downsides, okay? There are some things that must be strengthened to can do stuff as an autistic person, because the autistic person don't have them. Emotional intelligence is necessary to be learned. Okay, so yeah, really interesting. I think the video somehow stuck here. Okay, this is what I wanted to share. I don't know why it's stuck, but so just accept your strengths, your weaknesses, everyone who has those things, and work on the On the things that are critical, there are some negatives, as I told you, that are critical if you are autistic and can mess up your life, memory organization, many things that emotional. There are many downsides and there are many upsides, and some downsides need some work, a lot of work. So this is okay. For example, see here the thumbnail. Am I autistic? She just speaks in her mind, and autistic people have this problem. I was doing it so many years. So, am I autistic? You could say here, am I autistic? Those are my thoughts, and what you can do to deal with autism. So now, it will have emotional intelligence, so people are interested, but it's hard to see it if you are autistic. It takes a lot to can process those patterns. Okay. So this is it. Thank you for watching. Your comments down below. Are you autistic? Are you a rabbit or a bird? It doesn't really matter. What matters is to be connected to something higher than just the bird and the rabbit, and from their control, the bird or the rabbit.